Welcome back, sprinters. Today we continue our exploration of the sales funnel. We jump into the stage 1, awareness stage, and I will share you $1 million worth of tips and tricks, techniques, what's working out there, what's not working. So be ready for this, take notes and implement it, because we're zooming into the awareness stage. Let's see what is awareness stage, how you increase conversions, and how do you create multi-million revenue streams from this stage, awareness, into the next stage, engagement. Let's go. So, awareness stage, you remember we had 5 stages: awareness, engagement, closing, delivering, retaining. Today, we explore awareness. What is awareness and how can you do it? Awareness is, hey, here I am. That's it, okay? You go down the street and you want to get somebody to first consider you, to first see you, okay? In my city, there is this olive shop. So there is a market with fresh fruits and vegetables. And there are these guys who want to sell you some olives. And they go, you want to try an olive, try an olive, try an olive. And so they want you to try one olive because they think if you do try, then you are in the awareness stage. And from the awareness stage, they can move you forward to the engagement stage and then sell you some olives. It worked for me. They sold me $20 worth of olives and I was quite impressed with how they do it. Now, if you are a knowledge business, a more complex B2B system, that's very different, but those stages are still the same. These guys got me in 3 minutes from awareness to engagement to closing, and I spent $20 on olives. Let's see how they did it and how you can do it. So you are probably not selling olives, you are selling something like courses or coaching or advisory, something more B2B related. So let's look at it from the B2B perspective. We are in the awareness stage, and the first thing to do here is to pick your 4 main entry points. In this case, we have 5, but that's also an evolved sales funnel already. If you are starting out, just pick your 4 main entry points. What is your main entry point? Maybe it's YouTube, maybe it's LinkedIn, maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's your email list, maybe it's a podcast. Podcast, first thing that I see happening a lot, people think they have to start a podcast. That's usually wrong when you start. You want to start a podcast after you have monthly revenues of $35,000 coming in repeatedly, and now you can get yourself out of the delivery and start working on the business. And when you work on the business, this is when you start different additional marketing channels. What should you do instead? If you are below $35,000, what I would recommend to do is to be on podcasts of other people. So become a great guest on podcasts. It's much quicker. You can do so much more sales in the next 90 days, and you will 100% do 0 sales in the next 90 days if you start your podcast. You can increase your brand strength and brand recognition, brand differentiation with a podcast, but you need 100 episodes at least. Let me tell you the story. One of my heroes is Seth Godin. So when I started my podcast, I had some friends of friends who could introduce me to Seth. And then I said, hey Seth, would you like to be on my podcast? And he said, Simon, I'm delighted. I was asked by this person and I would love just for them to be on your podcast. But make it 100 episodes and then let's talk again. So it was a very polite way of saying no, right? But also there was some truth in these 100 episodes, because why 100, right? And if you look at most people who start a podcast, they don't get to 100. They just don't get there. And we are now at episode around 600, but most people don't get there. So it's too long and it's more of a marketing and branding thing. It's not a sales thing. So let's skip that, okay? Let's cancel that for a second. Let's try the second strategy. You will be on 5 podcasts of other people per day. I'm doing it right now, promoting the book. I am on 6 to 8 podcasts per day that other people have already started. So that's much quicker. It takes just an email to the podcast host. Hey, I love your work, especially this episode made me think about that. I can contribute these 3 things to your audience of, insert their audience, because I realize they are interested in these topics. Topic 1, 2, 3, I can deliver something valuable and practical and applicable. Do you want me to be on your show? How can I book myself on your show? And I have somebody on my team sending 50 of those emails every day. So from Monday to Friday, they send 50 of this email template that I wrote. They send 50 emails every day. How do you pick the right podcasts to be on? Apple Podcasts will suggest you. So you go to your favorite podcast for that topic. For me, it's Entrepreneurs on Fire, right? I'm here to serve entrepreneurs. So my dream podcast to be on is Entrepreneurs on Fire. That's why once a year I call John Lee Dumas and I say, let's do it. And then Apple Podcast says people who listen to the Entrepreneurs on Fire podcast, they also listen to this. And so Apple suggests me 5 more podcasts. Now my team goes to those 5. And then when you go on Apple Podcast onto those 5, you will get, again, for each one, 5 recommendations. This is how we create the list of who to approach this week. And then it's just sending 50 emails. That's, for example, one strategy. So one entry point here, I call it gigs. So when I have 6 gigs per day on a podcast of somebody else, these are 6 gigs, and we measure them every 7 days. So the strategy sprints method is measuring every 7 days all these entry points and their conversion rate. So on how many podcasts was Simon? And my team will report, Simon, this week you were on 51 podcasts, you converted to 27 discovery calls, and the closers closed 36% of those discovery calls, and that's the amount in euro that you did this week from gigs. Okay, that's one entry point, and just improve, optimize this entry point for the next 3 months, and you will crush it. If you pick this because you are great at selling from stage, you're great at speaking, you have a book coming up, if this is what's working best for you right now, then you might pick one of those. From there, we have then to pick one call to action. So where do you send them to? In the end, John Lee Dumas will ask you, he's great at building up his guests, he will make you super interesting. And then at the end, he will say, all right, Simon, where can people find you? And that's the moment for the call to action, right? In this case, you might pick either an audit, a survey, a quiz, something that delivers value, or you just say, hey, you get a free coaching, 1 hour of free coaching, jump on the call with me. You can use tactics like urgency, like there are just 5 free seats, first 5, first come. If you like that kind of stuff, do it. There is some evidence that it works, but it needs to fit. There is some evidence because Google, which is one of our joint venture partners, we will talk joint ventures in a second. Google, who is our joint venture partner, they measured and they found the 6 things that really make a successful product launch versus the many product launches that do not crush it. And they found 6 things, and one is actually urgency. So yes, it works, but we always prefer funnels that are real. So if it's aligned with who you are and how you speak and you do it, then yes, otherwise it might even be counterproductive. Another awareness piece can be joint ventures. So joint ventures, I told you one of our joint venture partners, Google. So we have 2 joint venture systems. One is the big partner. Find one big partner per year who is a platform who needs your services to create a win-win-win situation. You start with your dream list of 50 ideal collaboration partners, joint venture partners, and then you start talking to them and you do it. Ours is Google this year. That's the one big joint venture partner. And then you start building your referral teams. You start by having 12 people sending emails to their email list promoting you. And then that's one partner per month. So you can do cross promotion once per month with people who have a similar sized email list as you have. Now, when that works, you can move it to weekly, and then you will have 50 referral partners per year. So while you sleep, they are sending emails to their list and promoting your stuff. From there, again, you can send to a call to action. So what's at the end of their email? Hey, just grab some of our tools and you will get the real tools that we are using, for example. And this is a way to get them to opt into their newsletter. So from joint ventures, for example, to some tools, something valuable. From YouTube, what's the next call to action? Maybe it's download a masterclass. Maybe it's join your free community. And then from contacts that you really have, so people who are on your calendar, people who do you really meet at an event, you have a Zoom call with, you have a coffee with, what's the next step from there? How can they keep in the know? And then what's working for many of our clients right now is LinkedIn. Having a good LinkedIn game to start conversations via polls, via videos, via lives, and then following up on those conversations. So that was a lot of information right now for the first stage, awareness. Hope that helps. And the next video is about stage 2, the engagement stage. So keep rolling, everybody. See you soon.
Hey, if you love what you are hearing, you will love our free masterclasses. Go grab them at strategysprints.com.
What if your business would run well even when you are on vacation? Discover how 1,600 business owners have regained their freedom using the Strategy Sprints blueprints. How they enjoy living their dream and watching their business scale. Get the exact checklists they use to go from stressed to fulfilled using the Strategy Sprints method. Order your copy of Strategy Sprints 12 Ways to Accelerate Growth for an Agile Business on Amazon today. And if you love it, leave us a review. For more information, head over to strategysprints.com.
Blah, 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 blah.